Okay. Well, it says we are streaming. It says we may want to visit the live channel to feature your live stream. I don't know. Let's go there.
Let's see, right.
How can we tell whether we're streaming or not? Hi guys, are we streaming? Videos. It wants us to feature it, so how do we feature it?
I don't know, this is completely different to how I did it. It was really straightforward when I did it last time.
Right. Videos, maybe? That's you going test. That's One Life Left live. I have a feeling we are streaming. I reckon it's just going to be that, isn't it?
Yeah,
That URL.
without the event analytics.
So we just want question mark B equals. So if we just go like that, and see what happens. Nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. Right, okay. Well, it doesn't look like we're streaming.
Oh.
No, because I can't get it. Well, it says we're streaming here, so... But... It says we are streaming, but who knows where you can get it from.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sorry.
We are definitely streaming, but we just can't... That's me.
Cool. Alright, you've got some electronics in your hand. Right, see you later.
Okay, I'm going to take this down. Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh, you can't bring drinks into the studio.
Yeah, sorry, excuse me. Thank you, sorry.
Guest mic's on 5 and close dotted line. Audio.
No worries.
Okay. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Oh shit, now you said it. Right, so we know it goes. I'm all you guys are over. Yeah. It's not normal how it works, is it?
No.
Just watch this.
You move the mic to
Go. Hello, you're listening to One Life Left on Resonance 104.4 FM. I'm Steve Curran. Hi, I'm Simon Byron.
and I'm Anne Scotty.
Hello, guys. Hey, how you doing? I'm really excited for this, the 19th episode of Season 9. We've only just found that out, so how long have you been excited by it? 20 seconds. Okay, cool. So, are we doing a series of 24 again, like Jack Bowers? I think so. Anything could happen in the next 5 episodes. Right. Does that take us up to GDC? Seems about right. Sounds like we planned it. That's what we did last year, didn't we? We had months off. Oh. How are you doing, Anne?
I'm doing really great.
Your hair looks well red.
I read it.
I mean the colour as opposed to having digested the wet.
And it's done that too.
Has it?
Yes, it
Right.
has.
Well, yeah, looks good.
Yeah, you've got beard.
Thanks.
Steve, I can't see Steve's face right now. How's his beard situation?
Beardy.
It is beardy.
A little bit beardy.
Steve, you've got cats.
I do. Not on my face.
No.
But actually in real life.
IRL. See, our listeners are going to assume that I'm just copying you again, because last week you talked about your kittens, and
Yeah.
this week I intend to talk about mine.
Don't
Tarot
worry,
revisit all
guys.
over again.
I've had a cat for ages.
Have you not?
Yeah. Adorable.
But I did wonder what we'd become, because both of our Facebook pages are pictures of cats. We are the people that we despise. Well, it's like I talked about last week on the show, you know, how frustrated I am that people get 95 likes for nothing. I thought, well, can't beat them, get some kittens. How many likes? Suddenly 25 likes. Did you?
Only
For
25?
For a picture of a cat. That's easy, isn't it? I've only got 26 friends. So.
Must be. What did you have to do?
I celebrated Burns Night on Saturday.
Oh, how was that?
Good, Haggerty.
Did you sing? What did you do? Sing in
Read
the
a poem,
house?
yeah, read a poem out of Roy poem. Sorry, Robert Burns. Embarrassing.
And yes, you enjoyed it.
Enjoyed it, yeah.
Put a kilt on?
Didn't put a kilt on. Then
Did you wear any underwear?
yes, as normal. I'm not an animal.
But that's like,
You weren't even there.
well,
Can't
if
be
you're
annoyed
going
by.
to be Scottish, you should do as a real Scotsman would do and not wear any underwear.
I do not know this to be fact.
I really do not.
We are a video game radio show. You might guess that from the intro and the way we are bantering #bants right now. We're not alone in this. We're not. We need to bring the video game expertise right up, don't we?
We really do.
We've got a very special guest in the studio this evening. I can't believe we've never had him on before, particularly when we've started taking credit for his work. Doesn't sound like us. It doesn't sound like us, but it's Guy Cocker.
Hello.
Hello, Guy. How are you?
I'm very well.
Welcome.
It's a real pleasure to be on a Games Media Award nominated podcast.
What's
Winning actually. We haven't
Winning,
won it
actually.
once.
Oh, I apologise.
We will always be winners in our own mother's eyes.
And the
Apology
eyes of Ted
accepted.
Media.
I'm glad you've set the tone for this, Guy, because I'm not going to feel so guilty in the interview segment when I lay into you.
I thought I was going to
me.
get it when I got onto this
Oh,
podcast. So I thought,
We're not a podcast, by the way.
sorry, and
Live
podcast.
broadcast.
Would you like to touch our award?
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Can I lick your
Some
award?
pictures taken with Guy. With our award.
Is this the award that's been in Anne's bed? Or is
It is. And my bed. Yeah, and
Oh.
mine. And it's going to be in yours. We want you to take it home.
Take it home,
and
sleep with it.
and bring it back in.
Treat it.
Yeah, no, I mean, we use as a sort of tie break to determine who actually is the GMA winning show. It's like whether you've got the award on you. Like, do you treat the award with respect that we do, which is we carry it everywhere.
I've certainly never slept with it.
Okay,
And all three of you have slept
Yeah.
with your award.
and at 7:15, we'll do as we'll do every week, which we'll make this to go with, that we will worship it communally, which all our guests do. We bow before it and recant our GMA.
It's like kissing the blind stone.
Exactly,
It is.
like that.
Well, I'll kiss it right now. You guys can photograph it and put it out there on Instagram. I know you guys are social
We are,
media
yeah.
mavens.
Talking of which, we put pictures of kittens on Facebook. We're trying to be extra social right now and stream on YouTube, but that isn't going very well.
Okay.
We'll update you. Maybe we should get on with something in the meantime.
Shall we? Well, let's start off, as we always do, with Anne's news.
It's 7:04 on Monday the 27th of January. I'm Anne Scantlebury and this is the news. Epic Games won't be producing any more Gears of War games after selling the rights to the franchise to Microsoft Studios. New Canadian studio Black Tusk has been tasked with all future work on the games, with announcements coming later this year. Epic founder Tim Sweeney has said the studio will concentrate its efforts on new projects, which is what you'd want. You have to hope that all points of this deal were decided with a fair and decent game of tug of Gears of War.
Oh, I get it. Tug of War.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
solid.
solid.
Is this big news, Simon?
I shrugged.
The internet was
Did you?
losing it over it today.
Well, because the internet was speculating, wasn't it? Which is unlike the internet. Everybody thought that Microsoft was going to announce Crackdown 3.
Mm.
So Ruffian Games have been going, hey, we've got a game coming soon. And Microsoft have gone, hey, we've got an announcement for you tomorrow. And it was like, whoa, Crackdown 3. So it was like Crackdown 1 and not like Crackdown 2. That's what they're all saying. And then,
Were they all saying that? Or you saying
no, I've never played a Crackdown game.
that? Okay. I
So,
thought you were editorialising the news section.
No, I'm just using other people's opinions as my own.
But
I'm
Yeah.
outraged. Yeah. And what was the opinion you read today on various news sites about this? How do people feel
I don't
in
like
the
to
games
read.
media?
I don't like to read opinions, Steve. I
Okay.
read facts. That's what I do.
Okay, well,
Here
what's
is a news
all
hound.
right, fine. I was trying to let you off the hook. Why don't you editorialise? Tell us your opinion.
I mean, sometimes it's nice when things change hands because it gives a new and fresh perspective to games.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what Eurogamer said, actually. that was their
What was
stance
the
on it.
headline?
Yeah. Guy, how should we feel about this?
I was a big Gears of War fan. I thought the first game really was amazing. I know that probably you didn't, Steve. You edged it one big fan of it.
First Gears of War would have been after my Edge time. I know, look that young. But actually, my time at Edge was sort of 2004, so this predates me.
Well, I
I
apologise.
got out of the games journalism game by then. As I'm sure you will reach that point as well when you're a little older.
When I grow out of it. I used to like the Gears of War franchise, but I didn't finish. What was the last one? I can't remember. It was called Judgment, right?
Don't know.
It was called Judgment. Just lost patience. But I think it left with Cliff Blazinski. Really, he was the master.
Cliffy B.
Cliffy B.
Big fans of Cliffy B, aren't we?
Massive fans.
Cliffy B. He's a big fan of ours. Listens to the show. Does he listen to your podcast?
He doesn't. Unfortunately. I
Aw.
think he's too busy. I think he's too busy posting on the Alexander's Facebook page, guys.
Yeah. Listen, guys, you're not going to win more friends, more listeners with an attitude like that. No cattiness. That's not the one life left way, is it?
All the
No, it's
cattiness.
not. Yeah, that's right. Despite
Just
kittens.
If you're thinking of getting one of Alienware's Steam machines, you better be prepared for an annual investment. Alienware's Frank Atter explains, lifecycle-wise, consoles update every 5, 6, 7 years. We will be updating our Steam machines every year. The platform will continue to evolve as the games become more resource-intensive. While this may sound like an expensive way to keep your hardware up to date, Frank kindly explained that it wasn't because all your games would already be there and you wouldn't have to buy them again. Thanks, Frank. We might avoid financial advice from you in the future.
That's the problem, isn't it, with the PC, that you're constantly having to update in order to play the latest games, and one might have hoped that Steam boxes would have lessened that problem, but it sounds like they're not.
I thought that was almost the point of them, was that they were going to be these sort of standards, and that you'd have those standards for a while. It seems like an odd proposition to
You
me.
saying Valve have no standards?
There are too many standards now, don't they? You update your standards every year. Yeah, no, it did seem odd. So they're going to, so you can update them, but they're going to make it difficult for you to do so. I believe.
Yeah.
That's not nice, Anne, is it?
No, why would you make something hard for someone? Be kind, make it easy.
Yeah.
If you really want people to stick around, just make it super easy.
Yeah, and given how many Steam machines there are on the horizon,
It's not a very good selling point, is it?
well, I thought they were going to become easy to understand because I see these headlines from the PC people talking about their Radeon graphics cards and with numbers, and there's no naming conventions, like you don't know which one's better than the other. Just go on the price, I guess, and it's going to be that all over again, isn't it?
Buy an expensive one and it'll be able to run all the games. Buy a medium one and you'll be left guessing.
Yeah, but despite that, I'm still quite interested in the Steam machine.
Do you know which of the Steam machines you're going to get?
The silver one.
Microsoft has been offering YouTube users cash to get them to say nice things about Xbox One and its games and include clips in their videos. The deal, offered and organised by Machinima, got a bit dodgy at the NDA stage where participants were told that they had to keep the scheme and their involvement in it a secret. That meant viewers weren't told that content they were watching had been sponsored. Microsoft has since told Machinima that all videos with paid content must be marked as advertising. One Life Left would like to declare that it is regrettably still entirely independent and not part of any of these nightly deals.
But if we weren't independent, here's what that news story could have sounded like.
Hey guys, it's fine. No worries.
Nothing suspect going on here. The Xbox One's brilliant though.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Hashtag Brillo.
I love mine. $3 CPM is what they were getting. Cost per million, that means in advertising word.
million?
No,
It's
it's
not.
cost per thousand.
No, but it stands for.
Yeah.
Million. Does it stand for? Is it Roman?
I think it's CPM as in M as in the Roman.
I've only just realised that.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
Why are they using Roman numerals?
All of a sudden. What's cost per in Latin?
Well, per is Latin, isn't it?
Whoa!
Right. Why did that suddenly occur to me live on air? Right. So yeah, cost per thousand. $3 for every 1,000, up to a maximum of
I
Is
don't
it
know
like
what it was also about.
$15,000 or sorry, $15 or something like that? It struck me as being a deal that it's not necessarily worth bothering with if you're one of those famous. I bet PewDiePie, who I tried watching, and it's a different world. I bet he didn't bother with this.
No.
What is
PewDiePie
PewDiePie!
like? What is he like?
I don't know. He talks in a funny way.
Okay.
And
Why would Simon know what he's? Are you friends?
No, I
PewDiePie?
gazed
Why
through
would
the
you know what he's
YouTube
like
at
then?
the YouTube window into his
He's the
soul.
magic box called
PewDiePie,
YouTube.
PewDiePie.
So what does he do?
Well, I was watching one of his videos, and you can email in and you can ask him to do things. And he goes,
Okay.
PewDiePie does things on a Friday, and you don't quite like it. It should come with subtitles. Listen, you two that are interested in
No,
streaming,
that's
this is
why
the
I
world
wanna
that you need to get into.
Yeah, you need to mimic PewDiePie's
Yeah.
amazing Teletubby voices.
Exactly, and Miley Cyrus and Lady Gaga.
We're not going to mimic anything. We're going to forge our own path.
So we
Okay.
just need to find a different voice.
Do things on a different day.
You do
Do it on a
voices.
different day. Do things on Thursdays to get ahead of him. So they've already
Brilliant.
been done by the Friday.
Brilliant. We do voices.
We do voices, Steve.
That's very good. And if you're listening to this right now, and you want us to do anything on the radio show, just email in.
Hang on, one on
We'll do it.
Deathcom.
There we go.
$3.
Professionals at work.
A petition to get Sega to port more games to PC has gained over 6,000 signatures. The petition suggests porting Bayonetta, Vanquish and Virtua Fighter 5 to test the waters, but went on to explain, most importantly, we want you to know that this is a petition stage not around these 3 games, but around your future as a publisher in the PC space. Sega has acknowledged the petition on Twitter, but has made no further comment. If this doesn't work, we suggest that all 6,000 petitioners handcuff themselves to Sega HQ until they get what they want.
It seems like the way to get things done, does it? A petition. How did we get Microsoft to stop let us lend games to each other? We just did that by getting very
All
angry,
caps
didn't we?
on Twitter.
Yeah.
That was it. Oh, what's Sega up to at the moment? I haven't heard anything back from for ages.
Oh,
The Aliens
the
game.
Aliens game, yeah.
Aliens game, that's right.
Have you seen that?
I haven't. No, I don't get invited to such things.
Really?
That is outrageous.
It's Creative Assembly, which I don't know. Their strategy games are amazing, but then
That was exactly my question, actually, guy. About how well they've experienced it translate to a first-person game. No, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was genuine. Yeah.
not good. I think. Is the answer.
Well, I
Throwing shade on our video game radio channel.
in what sense?
Sorry, it's screaming. He's being mean on our video game radio channel.
Yeah, I hadn't reached that conclusion yet because we're more objective, aren't we?
Yeah, we honestly go, we don't like to judge until we've got the finished product. Might be different
Understandable.
on podcasts. Might be different. Radio shows got sort of standard of ethics, haven't you?
What else do they do? So they continue to do Football Manager. They've just released. Someone else.
That beat game on iOS, and they had to pull it. What was it called? It was 3DS game. That
No.
Sorry, don't know.
Yeah,
Journalism.
not sure what they're up to.
Aren't they just spending a lot of time helping Keith write a book?
That's true. Keith did.
They are, yeah. I guess. I mean, he is.
And he said they've been very helpful, so maybe Keith, like back off a little bit and do some real work. And finally, a bunch of scientists and artists who have used Oculus Rift to show people what it'd be like to the neuroscience approach of embodiment and apply it to investigate the perception and comprehension about the self based on the comprehension of the other.
This, isn't it?
If we
Here comes the joke. Here comes the joke.
we aren't using this to body swap with Beyonce by the end of the year, it'll have been a total waste of time.
I concur.
Done. News out.
Drop the mic.
You broke,
Out of the studio.
you broke the news for that.
Beyonce done.
Alright.
You see the Grammys last night?
Oh, didn't I? Yeah. I mean, didn't I? I did.
Did you?
Didn't I?
Because I read a tweet from you which said you couldn't be bothered to switch the TV on.
No, it was my laptop. It wasn't anywhere on TV. Yeah. Yeah, it was really late as well, wasn't it? So I watched it
So
this
did you or
morning.
you didn't?
Oh no, I
You
didn't. I didn't see it last night. Didn't
It
I?
doesn't matter.
Did I?
It doesn't matter.
Have you used the Oculus Rift, Guy?
Yeah, I've used a couple of. I've used the. I played what's Eve's game, the Icelandic studio.
Right, CCP.
CCP. Played their game. That was really fun. Although hungover at E3, not so much fun. And then I interviewed Palmer Luckey. He's like 23, 24 years old. Palmer Luckey. He's the guy that basically made Oculus Rift and then convinced John Carmack to come and joined.
Right.
So he's a bit of a young genius.
Right.
He was interesting. I thought he was good. I mean, the best demo that I played, weirdly, was one when you sit in a cinema and watch a film and look around and you can see the seats.
Right.
It's like an immersive cinema experience. It's not quite as good as the Beyonce demo.
Have you seen that Oculus Rival that pops up on Kickstarter?
No.
Is that what it's calling itself? The Oculus Rival?
Yeah, pretty much. And that's definitely selling itself as a thing where you get to sit and it seems to be more of a acceptable, less nerdy sit and watch.
Oh, is this one that uses mirrors as opposed to? Yes, you're not looking directly at the screen. You're looking
Right.
at the mirror. Yeah.
Possibly, I don't know. It looked very slick. You pull the thing down over your eyes and,
Right.
and watch a movie, look around, look at the seats, and that stuff. So, well, that is the sort of thing that's going to break the thing, right? Because while we all really, really care about, I saw a brilliant Oculus game where you were dolphins cheating on homework, and I think that sounds brilliant. It's not mass market. It's not going to convince
What
people.
kind of work do dolphins do?
It was really hard. It was
Do
really
they?
difficult, but it was multiple choice.
Well, they are intelligent creatures, I suppose, so they have to make it some challenge.
I'm looking on. Is it called the Avocamp Glyph?
That sounds right. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. It's a great
Mm.
Glyph.
So you heard it here first on the last quote, the name, and some rambling nonsense about dolphins shooting about it. Thanks, Anne.
It's really
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not flattering you, you've got yourself there. Do one of you want to take your wolf back, by the way?
Yeah, can I have it?
Yeah.
How old?
Stay on it.
Very
recent. Well, exactly. They're
Time is
exactly. When was it? 2000? No, less than that. I was at Premiere. I just joined Premiere. That's
That's
4 years.
2000.
2008, maybe.
Everybody who has been since then has died.
That's nice.
So don't be so
Yeah.
mysterious.
So we're going to talk about you next, guy.
Yeah.
So
Great.
just general about you.
Great stuff. So we are. I'm only getting there, which is good. Obviously too late, but we're streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
Why not Twitch?
Because they insist on game footage. That's what that whole
Okay, that's interesting.
playroom
Yeah.
debacle. So bear in mind, actually, anything we're saying is going out on YouTube. Normally, when the mic's down, we can slag.
Steve, you figured out how to plug it into the desk?
Well, that's what I'm trying to do right now. If we could do that, then we'd be away. But I think I'm going to have to ask. That's why I'm not worrying about this, because
I'll ask. They said there was a thing with it. I've lost a piece of paper with the names of these tracks on.
Uh-oh.
That clinking you hear in the background, that's the sound of Simon Byron getting ready.
Was it? What, do I clink?
Yeah, just when you move around.
Wow. I am old.
So it's, I'm sure our listeners find it sort of warming to know that they're going to hear our voices again. You're listening to One Life Left on Radio 104.4 FM, broadcasting across London, which is a thing you can only do if you're a radio show. It is. I suppose there are other ways of doing it. Isn't
No,
there?
no other ways.
TV.
No other ways.
We've experimented with video. It's not going very well, although you can find it on YouTube, I think, if you know where to look. This is Clam. It's called Dreams About Something. Non-specific. What do you think Clam is dreaming about?
Chowder.
What is chowder?
It's like soup, isn't it?
From the streets and Canterbury.
With their clam chowder. What sort of streets are they?
Yeah, the Boston Street.
Right.
No.
We're a video game radio show. We talk about video games, about playing video games. There are features themed around video games. But the high point of every show is the thing that happens just after Anne's news, because in many ways we've sunk to a low at that
Exactly.
point. When we interview our very, very special guest.
Bring us back up, Guy.
Hello.
Hello. So, normally, when we introduce a guest, we introduce and say a bit about them as a player, but we just said we've got Guy Cocker with us.
That's it. That's all you need. You've given me enough of an introduction on the many mentions through the last 6 months. I think.
So who are you?
It's philosophical.
Isn't it? That's what we like to ask you.
When am I? I'm Guy Cochran. I am a journalist of sorts, freelance, and I write for Wired, T3 stuff at the moment, and then do some broadcast stuff for BBC.
You're like the industry's roving report. Like you're on Sky News and Radio 5, and it seems whenever there's any sort
Snapping at the heels of Simon Parkin, yes.
Does he do them as well?
No, he does
just
the New Yorker,
right.
which is the ultimate.
Is it?
Gold
That's
standard.
your aspiration.
Yeah.
One life left, Simon Parkin. Thank you
One
very
life
much.
left, Simon Parkin, of course.
So how does that work then? If something happens in the real world, you just get a call from somebody at the BBC going, "Hey, what's this all about?" Then?
Yeah, basically, I don't know how it. Like, I did some stuff when I was at GameSpot for the BBC and Sky, and that became like a regular thing. And now, it basically, whenever there's when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, there'll be someone out there that's seen me do other stuff. I guess I should really get an agent of some sort. But like, basically, I'll get the call. I did like 9 or 10 interviews back to back for sort of Al Jazeera and CNN.
Right.
And, who else? Talk Sport, sort of like BBC local stations. So yeah, I guess that's what I do to make a living.
Right.
Yeah.
And so how do things? Did you have to change your approach depending on who you're speaking to?
Yeah, I mean, I went to Dubai a couple of days ago. That's not like
Saw this.
just like name dropping, but I kind of I've been talking a lot about the approach of the mainstream towards video games in general because there's some research out there that suggests that about 48% of people feel as though video games are poorly represented
Right.
in the mainstream media.
Yeah.
And obviously, the great work that One Life Left is doing is changing that perception around massively. But I just think it's interesting. I've done interviews in the last year with I was on with Helen Lewis on Channel 4 News, and Helen Lewis One Life Left. Helen Lewis, who's done in her spare time is the deputy editor of New Statesman, which is on One Life Left. And she there was the guy on Jon Snow, the guy on Channel 4 News was incredibly offensive. He asked about. I mean, I was told about going on to Channel 4 News that he would at least try and play Grand Theft Auto 5 and give it a go. And so I swung around to Sony and got a PlayStation 3 and plugged it in and set it all up, and Helen came down. And he wouldn't even give the game a try. And then he'd heard somewhere that there was rape in the game. Well, I don't think there's rape in the game. And there's all this sort of stuff, like basically not like just facts that were wrong. And so and then he said to Helen at the end, he was like, "What do your colleagues laugh at you when you tell them that you play video games?"
Isn't that odd from such an esteemed broadcaster who certainly wouldn't treat any other subject like that? He would not be so dismissive or ignorant about them. He would at least spend time, I guess, talking about various subject matters. Just to be so dismissive of video games, he also
he clearly hadn't even researched.
But it just doesn't figure for him, does it? It's just not on his radar at all. I'm surprised that it was only 48% of people that felt it was underrepresented. Because my opinion is that the older people, not that you asked for it, but is that the newspaper editors and all the rest of it are older than us. But as we will eventually grow them out, and for us games have been a normal thing.
Yeah.
This sort of thing, and yet you still come up against that sort of thing. He repeated his behaviour with Charlie Brooker, didn't
Yes,
he? On ahead of their sort of celebration of games, which just seemed completely odd. So how?
And it's the same at the BBC. I mean, I'm sort of biting the hand that feeds here, but I want to talk about it more. You talk to people on the BBC, and before you go on air, they'll be like, "Oh, how is Grand Theft Auto 5?" And I'll say, "Yeah, I've been playing it for the last few days, really, really good." And then as soon as you go on air, they feel obliged to say, what is this game? Why is it corrupting our kids? Why is it so violent? And all that sort of stuff. And I don't know. There is, it's a very violent game, and it shouldn't be played by kids. But at the same time, it should be, in my opinion, the BBC should be saying, this is a great British success story. It's, had all this money invested into it, far more than a single film that's ever been made in this country. I'm getting all suedy now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel kind of in the work that I do on the broadcast side, at least, to kind of I feel obliged to try and change perceptions in that way.
There was a time when David McCarthy and I used to do the sort of BBC Talking Heads stuff, and the day at which it stopped, the phone calls stopped coming from me. And I miss it because once I got asked to be their rock, paper, scissors expert on Radio 4.
Right.
One of their researchers called me up. It was very polite.
Is that an in-house position?
Well, it was very, very. I don't know whether it would have been a repeat visit thing. He said, Steve, your on our database as our gaming expert. Is it just video games? And I was thinking, consider yourself an expert in, playground games? I was like,
Steady on.
steady on.
Yeah.
But then he said, for example, rock, paper, scissors. Are you an expert in that? It's quite leading.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not sure you can be an expert in a game.
I think you can be, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think
Let's do it. Okay, you're going to beat me.
I will be. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So we'll
Think for the
go.
live stream here.
Right. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah. Okay. Ready?
1, 2.
Sorry. Hands behind the
Behind
back.
the back.
Hands behind the back. Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go.
Oh,
Oh, great minds!
Scissors on scissors.
Scissors, didn't lose.
We'll pick that up later.
Undefeated.
Anyway.
What? No. What was the breaking rock paper scissors news?
I don't
that
know
you
because
have an
I
expert on?
honestly said I don't know whether I could go on air and say that I'm an expert on rock paper scissors.
You knew about
And
the
he
hand
said-
behind the back,
And the guy said,
Yeah.
fair enough, Steve. Would you have any friends who do? So that was nice and fine, but not long after that, a few months later, I think there was some kind of scandal, like in Manhunt 2 or something like that, and they called me up, and they very, very much wanted a certain position on this. They did the sort of pre-interview, and they were like, "What do you think of this? Do you think, it's a terrible game? Do you think it's killing people and so on?" And when I took my position was that I don't think that you should. I think you should judge video games in the same terms as you judge other kinds of media. That said, it is interactive. We don't know all of the things that should know. Video games have to learn to be a little bit less defensive. A kind of nuanced position. They were like, "Yes, okay.
Do you have any friends?
Do you have any friends?" And after that, that was that. So I failed the test.
Right.
And sorry, the reason that's relevant, I think, is because a lot of the time they do want kind of a soundbite, just talking heads say, "This is great," or "This is awful," and actually, like everything, opinions should be more fine-grained than that. But that doesn't fit in with your opinion.
Right.
No, they want black and white. They want to sit down. I've had invites to go and sit down next to the mothers of children who have gone on killing sprees who do blame Call of Duty for that. And that's a difficult argument to win, even if you are the most pro video game person in the world.
Did
So
you win it?
I didn't go on it. I didn't go on it at the time because I was
Did you have any
cautious.
friends?
I was associated. I need the name of that researcher who wants the rock paper scissors expert because that will be me. I'll do that. It's
Yeah,
fine.
definitely. Easy money.
Easy money.
So what were the resolutions out in Dubai? So you were talking about how you were out there to talk about how games are represented. Were there any resolutions or any outcomes or anything?
No, I mean I
Decided over there?
Not really.
No. It's a nice place to go.
I gave a presentation just talking about this sort of stuff. And I don't know, like lots of the problem is like gamers get confused. Like they get convinced that they have to call themselves gamers. I mean, movie fans don't really call themselves film buffs, so some of them do. But there was again in some research that I saw. It was done by Turtle Beach, but anyway, the finding was that a lot of people were embarrassed about putting that they were a gamer on their social media profile, so like Facebook and Twitter,
Yeah.
but also on their dating profile.
Right.
And so I don't think I put gaming on my dating profile. I don't know about you guys.
I wouldn't mind putting that I play individual video games
Right,
on there, but I
gamers.
would certainly not identify as a gamer in the
Yeah.
same way as I wouldn't identify as a film buff.
Sure.
Or, I think anyone who puts on their social media profiles, yeah, I'm a bit of a muso.
You would avoid like.
Yeah, absolutely. You should.
Swipe left
You should.
always.
You should lead a balanced diet of media and consume everything. And whether you love Taylor Swift or whether you love Muse, it doesn't matter. But as long as you actually love it and feel no shame, that's
Would you
awesome.
put that you love Taylor Swift on there?
For sure, in a heartbeat. Because I want to meet other Taylor Swift fans. So if you're a Taylor Swift fan listening to One Life Left, please get in touch.
Would you put on your dating profile you've got a girlfriend?
Absolutely not.
I don't identify with
It's the opposite.
exactly.
I don't want to meet other Rose.
We need to reference the fact that you were referring to Tinder now.
Oh, yeah,
Swipe
that was-
left is-
It's a running joke. We don't need to
I'm
reference
sorry,
our
I'm
listeners
sorry.
pick it
I
up.
always tinned.
All right, time for local news.
Good stuff, thanks guys.
Good stuff, guys.
Very good.
Letter or tweets.
I'll do the tweet for you.
Thank you.
Thanks for all your letters this week.
Yeah, all of them. Thanks for every single one.
Every single one of those letters that you sent us this week, we thank you for. For example, this one from Alina de Souza.
I was suspicious of this letter, by the way.
Hold on. To team, a shout out coming to you all from the east coast of Canada here. Can't wait to hear what dreamy Dr. Avatar has going on in his episodes week to week. As a healthcare student, I get such a kick from wonders he works out in a couple of minutes. Has anyone else out there wondered how hot he must be? Or is it just me? A 2-minute segment of him just isn't enough to last me a week.
Suspicious! Why don't you ask him yourself when you're going out with him?
Well, no, the thing is, it's easy. We know from that time that Dr. Avatar came to the One Life Left meet and how he was
Super
carrying
dreamy.
on with all of the girls.
It was unbelievable. I mean, obviously this was
Unbelievable.
before he was going out with you,
Well, it's
our
you.
correspondent.
I mean,
But
this was, a couple
This-
of weeks ago.
yeah, this was like almost a month before whenever it was you met.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll stand by that. We'll back him up.
Exactly.
If he
Yeah,
asks.
he's very
But
dreamy, wasn't
I
he?
couldn't believe his behaviour that night.
He was behaving like one of the doctors from the Mills and Boone medical drama.
But when it looks like that, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Well, exactly.
Anyway, how was he, Anne?
Very competent doctor. Hello again. I've just finished watching the YouTube streaming thing of this week's episode. It was very weird having you all in my eyes as well as my ears, but nice to see a peek into your world. I've got no idea how to say this without causing massive offence, but I think I'm going to stick to the podcast in future. You're all lovely, but I found it really hard to concentrate like this. It's so much better when you're direct into my ears and I'm not tempted to do something else instead. Anyway, having watched the show, that I obviously now feel bad for making Steve go wandering around looking for post. Sorry about that. The parcel I sent wasn't anything amazing or anyway. Just a little something I thought you might like. Maybe it'll arrive in the summer or something. Fingers crossed. Love the show.
What is a
Cat.
little something that we might like? A GMA.
It's quite big though, this award. It's bigger than a lot of awards.
Is yours bigger than ours?
No, I think it's the same one. I don't think they've updated the
No, they
design
have.
in a few
They
years.
have.
Have they?
Yours
Yeah.
is
I don't look at it.
Come
very
on,
often.
Guy. You know
Oh,
yours. Yours could do real damage. That one would just clunk you around the head. Your one could stab someone.
I reckon we could kill someone with that award.
Oh, definitely.
I'm not suggesting we try.
But
Or
it
we
could.
have.
Or we
Serious
have
damage.
over the years when they've beaten us.
It's white clean.
Guy, you got a letter.
I have, yeah, I've just tossed it aside. Anyway, Ben Hall says, hello team, plus roving reporter Guy Cocker. I caught a little of the Saturday service on Twitch, but it was a little frustrating. Whilst it was fun watching Anne expertly play Resogun, Anne and Steve often failed to read the messages on the video printer at the bottom of the screen, so a lot of the viewers' questions were left unanswered. In the future, should we send you any problems that we have in advance so that you can give them the time and attention that they require? I do have something that I'm thinking of asking, but I was going to wait until Dr. Christian and the Embarrassing Bodies team were in town, so let me know if you're interested. Cheerio, and that's from Ben Hall.
So Anne and I have been experimenting with streaming, as we mentioned earlier in the show. This is in preparation for our GDC trip, where we will be streaming live from our Big Brother house.
As it stands, we're going to be experts, and as soon as Simon gets on screen, he's going to be like, I don't know what to do. How do you talk to
So
me?
it sound like
how
the
many,
radio show.
sorry, how many series of Games Master did you co-host? Sorry, just remind me again.
Sorry, let me know, how long ago was that, Simon?
That was back when you need when you had to be good to be on TV rather than just anybody have a camera pointed at them.
What
Was
was
that
the
a-
Games Master?
It's coming back.
Is it?
Keeps publishing,
With
they're
you?
bringing it
And
back.
are you involved?
I can't say at this stage, Anne, because I've not heard, but I would be very surprised.
Will it be streaming on Twitch?
Probably, yeah. Right, we also got some tweets today. Duncan Figueiredo said, Dear OLL, what did you want to be when you were little? Do games help fill that crushing void? What did you want to be when you were little, Steve?
I wanted to be a... I don't know.
Anne?
I wanted to be an actress.
Guy?
Train driver.
Did you? Right,
I've,
and you did
I've
that.
never played the train simulator games, which I should do. Go home and play immediately.
Venture to Go Home. That was clever. The game's called Venture to Go, and he said Go Home. Never mind. I think I wanted to be a comedian.
Right.
How's that going?
Really badly. Really badly. Yes, so I hope that helps, Duncan. Thanks for your tweet.
Chris Schilling asks, with Microsoft buying Gears of War, the big news of the day, I wondered which game franchise would Team OLL buy and why?
Venture to Go.
I will buy Resogun.
Thanks for your tweets.
I would buy Chucky Egg.
Would you?
I was looking at this today with Dan Marshall, We're
Okay.
having a little chat.
Yeah.
And if
Keep
you're
running,
if
Dan.
you're running, Dan,
Keep running.
Keep running. We were talking about Chucky Egg, how fun it was, and we wondered who held the rights to Chucky Egg. So if you know, or if perhaps you, listener, hold the rights to Chucky Egg, let us know. We'll give you a tenner for it.
Finally, we've staff that tweeted in response to can you send us some letters? He said, okay, J and R, we call now. Now, can we just have a chat about this, listeners?
Okay.
Every week, one of you does that stupid joke, and we are sick of it. Every week, some smart aleck goes,
Hey, hold on a second. I've got an idea. They ask for letters, and letters can mean two things. It can mean letters that you send into the show, but it can also mean the alphabet.
the next person to do that will be blocked, reported, not from Twitter, but from radio.
That said,
Thank you for your letters and tweets this week.
It's really great.
if you've got any letters you'd like to send us,
team@onelife.com.
very, very careful about what you send us. Hey, you know what we should have now?
What?
That dreamy philanderer,
Mm.
Dr. Avatar.
What are we doing next? Stevie.
Stevie.
Now just called Stevie, which I've never heard.
I'm
I
experimenting.
don't know, what are we doing next?
No.
Oh, I know what we're doing. I know what we're doing. Thanks, Dr. Avatar. So, Dr. Avatar has been causing beef on Twitter.
Has he?
What?
Actually, that isn't strictly true. Derek Williams has been causing beef.
Derek.
X One Life Left, Derek Williams.
Derek Williams, if you're a new listener to One Life Left, you won't remember Derek, but cast your mind back. Veteran listeners, you will. He was a provider of synth music and free market economy news for 7 or 8 seasons.
Hey, good one.
Now, clearly he's got some time on his hands, because what he's been doing is inciting other contributors to have beef with Dr. Al.
Really? What? He's envious of his looks, is he?
He's been-
He wants
he's
those
been
looks
saying-
messed up.
He's been saying, trying to stir things up between Ben Thomas of the Do You Inverts and Dr. Avatar.
How's that been going?
Now, I caught this in full flow on Facebook. On Facebook, and I said, boys, room in the One Life Left garden for everybody. But not before the Do You Inverts had written a song.
Wow.
So it actually worked in our
Did
favour.
it?
It did.
Right.
So, yeah, new Do You Inverts piece. It's called JTY TML. That doesn't seem to be working anymore.
God, what have I been playing this week?
I don't know. Simon, I'm not in with you. You've just been playing with kittens.
No. Oh, God.
It's John laying the smack down. That's the Do You Invert. Dr. Avatar, can you hear him? Can you hear him? How do you respond to that?
Cut him open.
I suppose he does have the knives. doesn't
Yeah.
he? Listeners, If you want to know who would win in a fight between Dr. Avatar and the Dunion Birds, vote now. Press
Press 1
press 1.
for Avatar.
Fave Avatar,
Fave,
retweet,
retweet,
revert.
I don't know. So, we've reached the section in the show where we normally do reviews. We could do reviews. We could make small talk for a while. Not really got much to say to you guys, to be honest. It's all a bit awkward. So, okay. Have you played something this week, Simon?
I'm just trying to remember. I haven't played this actually. I can't think. But let's go the other way around the table. Guy.
Hello. That was a surprise.
Sorry, what have you been playing this week? What are you going to review for us?
Well, I was thinking about the only game I've really been playing is Tearaway.
Okay.
Because but I feel like that's been done. So
We're
there's
always interested in fresh perspectives.
not many games out at the moment. So I was thinking, when you asked me to come on One Life Left all those weeks ago, it's been on my mind ever since, and I've been thinking about it a lot. And I've moved in with someone who runs the Stoke Newington Literary Festival,
Right.
Just as a family. And I thought I'd review Reads Like a Seven,
Oh wow!
the event starring Steve Carran and others.
Stevie. It is, isn't it?
I've been thinking about it so much. So while I do my review, assume it wasn't written hastily about an hour before this. So shall I just launch into
Please
it?
do.
Go.
Have you done some preparation?
This is
What?
this is what Guy's known for. You know he has a running order on his show and all of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness
I know.
sake.
Yeah.
We read it out.
It runs to many pages. Anyway,
He's proper.
let's launch into this. I booked us some tickets to Reads Like a Seven, she said, my partner making amends for inflicting an urban Welsh Q&A on me with her highly literate friends at the Stoke Newington Literary Festival. I hate such literary nonsense, so she was right to try and make amends. That said, she incorrectly expected me to know what Reads Like a Seven was, but of course I'd always found an excuse to not go to the Nottingham Game City, with it being 2 hours out of London. It's the best games writers giving readings, she said. Then why am I not there? I naturally concluded. I googled the event and found second-tier games writers such as The Guardian's Keith Stewart, New Statesman's Helen Lewis, and most offensively of all, One Life Left Steve Carran. Carran left a particularly sour taste in the mouth, claiming his beautiful and emotive comparison between gaming and cricket was concocted from scratch the night before. Offended that such immaculate prose was created out of thin air mere hours earlier, I suggested to my partner we leave out of disgust, but she talked me into staying by plying me with booze. Despite all this, I got to meet the Edge legend Stephen Poole at the bar, whose book, one of the very few that I'd actually read, I'd read on a summer job working on the beach in Filey, where I grew up. I also got to introduce my then lover to Simon Parkin, an actual journalist for the esteemed publication The New Yorker, a real, proper, important publication. In conclusion, Carran and Co. aggravated, but on the plus side, I did finally get to meet Stephen Poole. I give Reads Like a 7 out of 10.
Perfect. Well done.
Really good review.
Very good. How'd you follow that, Anne?
I don't know if
Open
I
up your
can.
notes. Open up your notes.
Coming up.
When is your next 7 out of 10? Reads Like a 7. 7. sorry.
I'm not sure when the next Reads Like a 7 is. I'm going to have to talk to Parker about that.
My housemate's family organised a Stoke Newington Literary Festival, so if you want to get back, I got the
Get in,
hook.
yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well,
Interesting,
how did you get on by introducing your lover to Stephen Poole? Because I introduced my wife to Stephen Poole, and I think she prefers him to me.
Really?
Yeah, like I genuinely, and actually I think she would admit it very publicly as well. I had to give him a present from her recently.
What was the present?
Well, I can open it, can
Okay,
I?
go on. Sorry, stupid
yes,
question.
yes, darling. Yeah, did you get any of that or not?
No, I think she was more drawn to Parkin because of the New Yorker thing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to shut my laptop because I am freestyling this.
Freestyling.
I've been playing Brothers. What's it called?
A Tale of Two Sons.
That one. Boring, isn't it?
Controversial.
Really boring. All you do, and you know I'm a massive fan of going around, but you just go around twice at the same time, and then oh you climb up something. Okay. Oh, you have to go over there and you have to make you find a giant and he's going to help you do some stuff. Oh, brilliant. I think you're trying to. Okay, so it starts with a bit about how I think it's the mum has died at sea or in a river or something, and the boy is really, really sad. He's out of brain. Oh, boo-hoo. Anyway, their dad's still there. He's still alive, but he's a bit sick. So they're taking him on a cart to go and get him some medicine. The medicine man's like, don't have any medicine here, boys. You're going to have to go on a mission. So you go out, the two of you together, and then you sort of help each other out, and it's quite sweet because, you know, I guess that's what good siblings would do. But it's entirely not what would happen with me and my sister or me and my brother. We'd end up arguing and like pushing each other in the river. One of the brothers helps the younger brother who's, oh, I'm so scared of the river because mother died in the sea, and helps him down the river. My brother would have drowned me, like honestly. Yeah, I just didn't find it very interesting, and I didn't get particularly engaged with it.
It's a wonderfully looking game, isn't it? It's made
Yeah, it's
by
really nice.
Starbreeze, and who's the director? There's a film
No,
director.
right. Yeah, Starbreeze. Yeah, let me Google.
It's essentially head over heels for the new generation now, isn't it? Head over heels is an olden game that they had in the olden days.
When games were boring.
Are you playing it with another? Because you can have another player on the second stick, can't you?
No, I'm doing them both myself.
Oh.
2 thumbs, 2 boys.
Not good.
I don't know what that means.
Wow.
That is great.
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So you played it as well?
Did they? Yeah, I played quite a lot of it until it got really frustrating towards fiddly towards the middle bit, I imagine. It's kind of very much like patting your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I gave up on the ropey bits, which you won't see. And it's very pretty.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't do anything very interesting.
I played more of that than I did Gone Home. And
Oh,
Gone
bloody
Home
hell.
is the worst game.
Or the
I
best game.
don't think it is the worst game though, Simon.
But it's interesting. But Brothers is certainly better than Gone Home.
Is
Did
it?
you see that a listener added the Gone Home people and said and grasped me up?
That is bad.
And I thought,
That is
well,
bad.
when I saw that, I thought, well, at least they won't bother to listen to the whole show. But he's done that thing where you link directly to it on YouTube.
Oh,
Ooh.
serious.
Oh,
Do you realise that you're going to meet
Yeah.
Steve Gaynor
Yeah.
at GDC?
Yeah, I'm looking
And do you
forward to
remember
it.
what happened when you met Jonathan Blow?
It was very, very awkward.
It was.
Really awkward. But I think I won Jonathan Blow round, didn't I? I think, and I'm looking forward to winning the Fulbright Man round. What I'm going to do, actually, is I'm not going to speak to him, but I'm just going to ask him to go through my pockets, which will have a series of objects and notes in it, explaining why I dislike him. Shall I do that? Do not link this bit to them, alright? I'm going to be charming when I see them.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that 7 out of 10. Simon?
I've been playing Resident Evil 5.
Okay,
Hmm.
how's that been?
I played it because I bought it in a Steam sale, and everybody was recently talking about how brilliant it was because they announced they were remaking Resident Evil 4 in HDs. And I realised I'd never played it, despite owning it twice, so I booted it up, and I think I may have moved on. I think games have changed since the Resident Evil games, and I think where you are so limited by health and ammo, I just find very, very difficult to play. And in fact, as you famous, what's that song you wrote about Resident Evil? Although you cannot
I Will
shoot and
Survive.
move, yes.
Yeah.
Which is one of the I love how that scans in our video game karaoke. But yeah, but you can't shoot and move in it, and it just feels very, very restricted these days. So I didn't as much enjoy it. People saying it's one of the best games ever. And,
Where would you
Who's saying?
place it?
Just people on Twitter.
Okay.
Those people.
Guy said that quite aggressively, like he's
Exactly.
going to
Yeah.
hunt them down.
Resident Evil 6 is when I went to see that in Japan, one of my last trips at GameSpot. I thought it was good, and then it turned out to not be good, and then I questioned my whole belief system.
Right. So you played it again subsequently, and you thought it was because
No, I didn't bother after everyone said it was.
So that's so it might still be. So I
Yeah.
actually then loaded Resident Evil 6 up, but that's the only game I've played so far that doesn't work on the Surface. Because actually, I think Resident Evil 6 might be more my cup of tea because it's not a Resident Evil game. Apparently. We shall see. But I think just for the heritage and its place in history, you have to reward it 7 out of 10.
Interesting.
Stephen?
Ollie Ollie,
Oh, really?
this is going to be awkward because we've got them on next week.
They're great podcast guests. They
Oh, it's so nice that you warmed them up for us.
they debuted on the award-winning Diecast podcast.
Anyways, you are our fluffer, aren't you?
You guys.
See how they fare on a radio show, shall we? So I had no idea they were from London.
They're in New Cross.
Guy's moving in with them next year.
So I played it. Oh, we've run out of theme. You guys have gone on too long.
Sorry. That's what happens when you prep, Steve.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had heard good things about this game and wanted a new game for my Vita, so I put it on there. Started playing it, really enjoyed it. What it is a skateboarding game, but it's in 2D. It's kind of like Cannibalt, a comparison I'm sure they are sick of, versus something like Tony Hawk, where you are trying to get as many points for tricks in one slick run as possible. So it's side on, unlike the 3D of Tony Hawk. And yeah, really enjoyed it. Very brutal, very difficult game. Dan Marshall, hope you're running really well. Keep going, Dan. He was losing it a bit on Twitter this week because he was finding it very difficult to remember to press X to land. That's one of its tricks. It's kind of like you've always got to press X just before you land, otherwise your trick doesn't count, and that's how you score points. And it can be super frustrating, super hardcore, but also really very quick restart and very compelling like that. Really enjoying it. The one thing it is missing is a friends filter for the scoreboard, which was really annoying because I think I have no interest in finding out how bad I am at a game. I don't care about being 2019th in the world. Oh, now I'm 1800th, or I've broken the top 1500. It's not interesting to me, and I dare say that is the same for most people who play the game, apart from the people in the top 200 or top 50 or whatever. They can get excited about that stuff. What I do care about is being better than my friends on the Vita. I care about, having the high score for this level better than you, and you can't filter. I tweeted about that. They replied and said they're going to look into adding it. Then I found out they're from London, so they're coming on.
Coming in to explain themselves, are they?
Next week.
Right, live feedback.
So, hopefully.
Otherwise you can see you living.
Right. They're going to get an earful, aren't they, on the show?
Hopefully they don't listen to this review. I mean,
I'm sure some helpful reader will at them directly the moment you're commenting on it.
I really enjoyed the show. I really enjoyed the game, and I'm sure that I will continue to play it beyond this. So I look forward to a re-review next week. 7 out of 10.
Right.
Okay, we've got time for. Do we have time for one more? We haven't had enough music in the show. That's another piece of music, and then we'll be back to wrap up the show after this. This is Dread. Hi, Chris.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
Alright.
So, can you tell me, for future reference, how I get a signal out of this desk into that laptop? An audio feed.
Desk out, left and right. So we've got an
so it's gotta
XLR
be
part.
XLR.
Yeah, it's got an XLR that just go into. I mean, we've got XLR female to mini jack.
It's got to be. Well, I can sort that out. What actually that's got to be is what I need to get is a headphone jack splitter for this.
Yeah.
Because this is a headphone mic in a cheap. They're about 99p if you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Super cheap. It's just one of those dual things.
Right.
So I need a splitter out that, but a mini jack in will do it. Fine.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all right. The beat crap this week anyway. So.
Is it both the Roll 7 guys you've got on?
Yeah. So where did you cross?
Yeah.
Steve,
Yes.
this is the beginning of next one. So is your theme
Just
tune
track
on
one.
that? Yeah, just track one.
No, I can do that.
Lovely.
Okay. Right. Should we talk about... You're listening to One Life Left on Resonance 104.4 FM. This is Dread, and it's Do the Tido. A lot of these chip tunes that we play, most of which, in fact, are culled from chipmusic.org, the best chip tune site on the net, I think. A lot of them have unpronounceable things in the title or the artist.
Right.
See this guy? See
This
track
Joker.
19? No, I mean this is alright. This is Do the Tido, spelled T-I-I-D-O, which I struggle with. But you see track 9 there. How would you say that guy's name?
But you've got that guy's
Track
name
19.
combined with your
Handwriting.
childish handwriting. Yeah, it's Andy Man, but Andy, is it? Well, I don't know what you've written there.
Well, you've got it. It's Andy Man,
Andyman.
but with a 3 at the start.
Right, you've got
Free,
there.
friend,
Free Andy
Randy
Man.
Man.
Randy
Randy
Man.
Man. I don't know. So we couldn't play that track because I couldn't say his name. But maybe next week. Maybe next week.
Maybe you'll figure it out by then.
We've got 2 minutes, maybe just enough time to tease the thing that we've confirmed today with the Head of Resonance.
Head of Resonance, yes. So the fundraising, the annual fundraiser begins week after next, I believe, and we will be announcing what we're doing, and we're going to do an event in April.
We are.
So we'll confirm details about the show after next, but it will be strictly limited tickets, and it's going to be loads of fun.
So much fun.
So much
Can we
fun.
see you there, Guy?
I'll be there.
Good
In
news.
April, yeah, definitely.
It's also worth
I'm
mentioning
knocking on in April.
on the Monday night, I think it's Monday the 10th, we're going to be doing a very special One Life Left, raising money for Resonance, and that evening going to be participating in a cross-show jamboree, telethon,
I'm so excited about this.
mix. We're going to be combining with all the other Monday shows to produce 3 hours of excellent radio between 9 and midnight. Who knows what's going to happen? So you have to listen and you have to donate. If you donate, you'll get a very special edition of One Life Left. We'll be recording separately at our convenience.
Swear. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. I cannot believe that it's taken us so
I
long.
know.
Please
I
come on
can't
again
believe it
next
either.
week or the week after next.
No,
We have
all
a
7
fun.
are on this week.
So where can we listen to the podcast?
Oh, just where you can follow. You just head over to guycocker.com. I'm doing a YouTube thing tomorrow at BAFTA, so come along to that. 8:30 a.m.
All right, Guy, get
All
on the
right, guys.
bandwagon.
Thank you so much for
8:30.
coming on. The current holder of the GMAs. We'll see you.
See you in October.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
as for you listeners, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Awesome.
Well done. That was excellent.
What's that thing? Simulation. Wicked. Thank you. Great start off.
Yeah, just start.
Silence. You're listening to Resonance 104.4 FM. That was One Life Left. Coming up tonight's Clear Scott is a pilot from Cinema Nation. Enjoy.